Alright, what's up everyone? This is NinjaDeathStrike bringing you a quick rant about why HP computers suck and then a Pokemon TCGO match. So anyhow, as some of you guys may have noticed, I didn't put up any videos this weekend, and that's because my hard drive failed on me on my HP NV14 laptop. It's less than a year old, and this is the second time that it's had a major malfunction. HP support is completely worthless. Since I'm in Korea, they don't do anything to help me. And yeah, just generally really frustrating situation. HP computers are garbage. Do not buy one. Whatever you do, get something else. Anyhow, I lost the hard drive, had to buy a new one, install it, and then luckily, I was able to recover most of my files after working at it all day. So I do have my matches still backed up. I have plenty of content to bring you guys. But that's why I wasn't able to put up anything new this weekend. So also, Skyrim has been released, so expect me to be busy with that for quite a while. I will still be putting videos up here, but maybe just slightly less frequently than I was before. Still should get at least 2 up per week, maybe 3, just depending on how I feel. So anyhow, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the match. So I'm using another new deck this week. This is a MagnaBoar deck. It centers around, or not MagnaBoar, sorry, ReshiBoar. Centers around Reshiram and Emboar. It's a really fun deck to play. It's kind of fallen out of fashion just because of Catcher. Catcher really hurts it since Emboar is such a fat Pokemon, but I enjoyed playing it when I was using it quite a bit a few weeks back. So I have a couple of battles saved that I'm going to upload, including the next one, which is probably the best TCGO match I've ever had. So definitely look forward to that one. This one's kind of the introductory match to let you guys see what the deck does and how it works. So my opponent is Settlers25, and I get an okay start. It's not great. Would have liked to have a Vulpix to start off, but I don't. At least I've got 2 basics, and I lose the coin flip to go first, which seems to happen in quite a few videos I end up uploading. But go ahead and use Sharon, get some more cards. Still don't pull Vulpix, and I've got 3 Pignite, not Pignite, T-Pigs though, so that's good. Means that even if one of them gets KO'd, I still have plenty of other options to go to get an Emboar up. And looks like I'm going to be playing a fighting deck, judging by the cards he's playing. This is not just one of the basic theme decks. He probably has put some thought into it. There's potential for a Machamp Prime there, since I see that Machop, and then Gliscor is kind of an unknown quantity to me at this point. I'd never played a deck with it in before, but it does a decent job here. So I'm going to go ahead, start getting some energy up. Catcher out the Cubone just to stall for a turn, basically make him waste some energy, and then use Professor Oak to hopefully pull something useful. But I don't. I get my 4th T-Pig, so I have a bench full of them now. It's not really going to hurt me to have all 4 down, because this deck, at this point, I was really only running 2 Pokemon, which were Emboar and Reshiram, so as well as Ninetales, but I only need 1 of those if I happen to get it. So having the 4 T-Pig down isn't going to hurt me too much, except that they could get catchered up, and I wasn't playing the proper T-Pig. You can see I only have 1 of that 1 T-Pig that's the active one. That's the one you want to use because it only has a retreat cost of 1, while the others have a retreat cost of 2, and that is really bad, since they basically get catchered up and get stuck active. So if you're playing with Emboar, you want to use the one that I had active first and not the ones that I have on my bench. Anyhow, luckily I draw into my Cleffa, so I'm able to go ahead and Eek here, get a new hand, and I was hoping to be able to get a rare candy in an Emboar. I got half of that, and if he knocks me out here with his Marowak, I will be able to Twins, get my candy, and then get something going. But he actually flips 2 tails, so the one time I want him to knock me out, he doesn't, And so now I'm going to have to evolve the old-fashioned way. I see that one of my pig knights is prized, so I'm only going to be able to go through the full line once. I'm going to have to rely on rare candies to get the rest, but I'm going to get set up, get this pig knight ready to go. Since I already have an energy on him, I'm going to attach that DCE. Both of the Embor's attacks take 2 fire and a DCE, so when I evolve him, he'll be ready to attack, and then the DCA also is going to play a role later. It's really handy to have on him, and you'll see why once I get around to attacking. So this time, my opponent's going to flip 2 heads, do 120 damage to poor little Cleffa, and I have a decision to make. I have to send something active, and I don't have my Embor yet, but I know that I will be able to get it into play this turn thanks to Twins. So I'm going to grab the rare candy. That's going to guarantee me the good boar, and then I'm also going to get the bad boar, and now I can set up, go ahead and evolve my active. Oh, that's the wrong one. Evolve my active into bad Embor. That's the one without the ability, and then rare candy and evolve my benched T-Pig into the good Embor, and Embor's ability, Inferno Fandango, which has to be the greatest name for any move in this in TCGO ever, lets me attach as many fire energies as I want per turn. So it's basically like Rain Dance, only with fire energies. And the bad Embor's attack, Flare Blitz does 150 damage, and I have to discard all the fire energies. So that's why having that DCE is nice. It means I only have to discard 2 energies onto him, since it's not a fire. And I take out that Marowak pretty quickly. So now Gliscor comes in. Like I said, this is the first time I'd played it. He goes ahead and puts an Alpha Ruins into play, and Ruins of Alpha. That means that none of us have any resistance, but none of the cards in this deck have a resistance anyhow, so it's not really going to do anything. He probably just wanted to get it out of his hand so that it wasn't clogging it up later. He's going to go for a dual ball here. Not sure what he's looking for, but he shows me as a Reshiram, which seems kind of out of place, but I mean, the dragons can really tech in fine in any kind of deck just because Outrage is such an amazing attack and they have massive HP. So I get hit with a NinjaDeathStrike or something like that, which if I don't have any damage counters on me, I'm automatically paralyzed on the first turn. So it costs only 1 energy. It's kind of a nice opening attack to buy you some time. So it does paralyze me this time. I don't have any way to switch out, so I just have to draw pass. And now he's going to get to do something else. So I think Gliscor's second attack only takes 2 energy, so he's basically powered up and ready to go. And that means he can start building up the Machop sitting there in the background. Which, oh, maybe he takes 3 energy. My mistake. Like I said, I haven't faced it before. Oh, it does take 3 energy, and it does 50 damage and poisons you, so that's going to hurt. That means my Embor's survivability has taken a big hit since I'm going to be taking so much additional damage per turn. Need to have a backup plan here. Right now, I don't have a backup attacker. I haven't been able to get my Ninetales down or get my rare candy to get my other Embors or be able to draw into a Reshiram. So if this Embor goes down, I'm going to be in a bit of a tight spot because I don't have another attacker ready to go. Luckily, he is a beast, and I'm able to do 150 damage, take out Gliscor in one shot. So I'm forcing my opponent to burn through his energy quite quickly. If I can take out this Machop before it turns into a Machamp, that's going to be, all of his energy is going to be gone off of his side of the field, which would be fantastic. Unfortunately, I get taken out this turn, and now I kind of need an out. I need a way to knock this thing out this turn so that I can keep the momentum going. Luckily, I top deck a Collector. That's going to let me pull a bunch of my Reshiram. They're kind of the main attacker in this deck. Usually, the bad Embor serves as a backup to get in those big hits. But these guys do the majority of the attacking since they're basics. They're easy to get out. Grab 2 of them. I'm going to go ahead and Pecom. Pecom away the third. I believe I get a Ninetales. Yep, grab one of my Ninetales here, go ahead and get that set up, and that's going to allow me to roast reveal, which when I discard a fire energy, I can draw 3 cards. So that's going to be handy to help me get the rest of the cards in this deck and get it going at full speed. So just playing Energy Search here real quick to grab a fire energy and make sure that I can use roast reveal on this turn. Since I already used a supporter, I can't use that fisherman this turn, so that was my only option to get more cards. Draw into a second Embor and a bunch of supporters. So the fisherman will be nice later, but for right now, I'm stuck without being able to get a KO this turn, and that's kind of disappointing because eliminating all of the energy from his side of the field would have been basically a win right there. The rest of his guys are pretty slow, and he wouldn't have been able to build them up fast enough to handle my constant 120 plus damage output per turn. So T-Pig does go down, but it allows me to promote Reshiram into the active spot. And now I am able to use my supporter, so I'm going to pull a Fisherman, get a ton of fire energy back, and that'll let me use Roast Reveal again with Ninetales, as well as give me ammo to power up Reshiram for Blue Flare this turn. And since he didn't evolve, I'm still going to be able to wipe off the energy, so that's good. In the end, that wasted turn didn't end up costing me too badly. You can see here, still having issues with lag. This is before I turned off the hollow effects, which really helps cut down the lag. So I'm going to PCOM here. Not sure. Oh, no, I guess I'm not. Just going to go ahead and Inferno Fandango, put 2 fire energies on Reshiram, and that means he's going to be able to Blue Flare this turn. And so looking at my opponent's bench, really the only threat he has at this point is that Gliscor sitting back there. But even that is manageable now that I have all the Reshiram. If he does manage to take one of them out, I'll be able to bring in another and KO it and revenge kill it. So I don't need to play any of my other trainers this turn. Just going to go ahead and Blue Flare, get rid of Machop, and take my 3rd prize. So prizes are evened up now, 3-3, and I definitely feel like I have an advantage since my side of the board looks a lot more set up than his. He does have that Gliscor and the Reshiram, but they don't have any energy on him, and he doesn't have any stage of the Machamp line out right now. So he's going to attach a fighting energy somewhere, and then go ahead and use Professor Oak, refresh his hand, and evolve into Marowak. So he has the Smeargle. Smeargle has a Poké Power that lets you copy the effect of a supporter card in your opponent's hand. So he uses that to get a bunch of his fighting energy back, but he doesn't have any energy acceleration, and that means that I should be able to put him in a really tight spot before he's able to attack. So I go ahead and play a Collector here, grab a Vulpix and my other Reshiram, and I believe I'm going to put Vulpix down on the bench, get him ready to go. I think my other Ninetales is prized, so that was kind of a misplay on my part. I probably shouldn't have done that and would have been better off just going for Fisherman, but I'm going to Roast Reveal here. I'm not worried about losing that fire energy since I have a Junk Arm. I believe I can Junk Arm for a energy retrieval if I need to, and that'll let me get 2 energy back, but it turns out I don't, since I draw into 2 more fire energies, which is great. That means I can go ahead and attach them with Embor and Blue Flare to take out that Smeargle. Smeargle, I would have liked to be able to get a KO on something else, but I wanted to save the Junk Arm just in case I needed it later, and even being able to take a prize here is fine. I'll go up in prizes, and I'll only need to take 2 more to win the game. So I just go ahead and knock it out, and then next turn I'll be able to KO whatever he decides to bring in response to it. So take my next prize, I get another Junk Arm, which is nice. It means I'll have any trainer I really need. I have now, since I've discarded I think 1 of everything. And now he sends in his Reshiram, which is a pretty smart play. It means that I won't be able to get a 1-hit KO on him, and if I do Blue Flare, he'll be able to hit me back with Outrage the next turn for 140 damage, which means he can revenge kill my Reshiram. So I get that rare candy. I'm going to go ahead and P-Com here, switch out my ability boar, but I forgot that my second bad boar was prized, so I'm just going to grab it right back. That was definitely a mistake on my part. I should have paid more attention to what was prized. Usually, when you play any kind of search card the first time, you want to take your time, look through your deck, and make sure you see what's been prized and what hasn't, especially with your important cards. If I had taken the time to do that and paid attention like I should have, I would have known that my other Embor was prized, and I wouldn't have tried to P-Com for it here. So it turns out not to matter too much since I do have the 2 Reshiram. I feel pretty good. I've got the 3rd in my hand, so he doesn't really have anything that can one-hit KO them. So it's not going to be an issue that I don't have the Embor. I'll be able to deal with the rest of his guys just with Reshiram. And I choose to Outrage here. The reason being, like I said, I didn't want to get revenged by an 140 damage Outrage coming off of his Reshiram the next turn, so I figured the smarter play here was to hit for 20 first and then hit him for 120 the next turn and kill him that way. So now the most damage he can do to me is 40, which is much better than 140. If I was really smart, I probably would have played the Junk Arm there, grabbed a catcher, and taken out his Machoke, but instead I decided that I wanted to deal with Reshiram since, I don't know, that was kind of not a great play on my part. Probably should have taken out the Machoke, especially now that he's got Machamp, but, you know, what can you do? I made the choice, so he decides that he's going to put an energy on Reshiram, and instead of going for the Outrage, oh, well, maybe, let's see, he took it back. Let's see if he goes for Outrage. I think he might. Yeah, he goes for Outrage here. In my opinion, the better move would have been to go ahead and put that energy on Machamp, but he's just going to concede here. He doesn't have a feasible way to win, and my side of the field is completely stacked, so that's going to end the match. Like I said, this is kind of just the preview of this deck. You'll get to see a much more competitive match coming up later in the week, and I might try to put up an episode of the Let's Play or maybe a Wi-Fi battle as well. Not sure. We'll see what I feel like posting, but that's going to do it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned. More coming your way shortly. Thanks.